What's going on, people? So right off the bat, you're wondering why I got out of my car to confront an individual that was parked in front of me in line for Burger King. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to sit here and draw it out for clickbait, but the gentleman in front of me had a unique license plate. Those of you who are veterans or are currently serving will probably completely understand this the most. Those of you who are not may not understand why I got out of my car. So just bear with me for a moment. A little history about myself. I was Army. I enlisted in 1988 in the delayed entry program, which means when you graduate high school, that's when you're eligible. But I had that year in advance. 1989, I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. My primary MOS was 13 Foxtrot, forward observer, guy who calls indirect fire. You're with maneuver, you're out with the borders, etc., etc. Mortars, artillery, close air support, whatnot. Excellent job. I love that job. While I was at Fort Sill, I was almost killed. 3 of my buddies were killed, and 23 of us were wounded. That's where I get a lot of my issues from, because I took shrapnel to the side of my head. After basic, I went home from the hospital for a couple of weeks, convalescent leave to recover. Then I went back to AIT, where I graduated. I tied first in my class in AIT. I was the top of my class for both Master Blaster title, which only 13 Fox would understand that, and also for grade point average. So it was a pretty damn good accomplishment to almost lose your life, then come back after recovering and set that mark. I was really proud of myself. The wall was still up. It was still called West Germany. I opted for another 12 months so I could get that German duty station, assignment. And I was sent to Germany in November of 1989. The wall was just about to come down. The wall came down literally the month I got there. I always kid with my fiance, because she's from Belarus, that it wasn't a coincidence. And I got to Germany, and I shook my hand at Gorbachev, and I said, "Mr. President, tear down this wall." Or maybe somebody else said that. I don't know. But I got stationed with the 3rd Infantry Division. I was in Aschaffenburg, West Germany at the time, with 4-7 Infantry, which was a mechanized infantry unit, Bradley unit. And it was probably the best time in my entire military career. I still have lifelong friends who are spread all across the United States and abroad because of that, because of being stationed there. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Got to see Germany win the World Cup. But I also got sent to the Gulf War out of Germany. We were literally the tip of the spear. Little known fact about the 3rd Infantry Division: the entire division did not go to the Gulf War. Only one brigade, our brigade, the 3rd Brigade, aka Phantom Brigade, because I believe General Griffith and General Franks, or Colonel Riley, who was our brigade commander, served in Vietnam together, and they worked well as commanders, I guess, and he pulled us out of Germany. Yippee yay, right? Sorry, I'm looking for a parking spot. And here's one right here. Anyway, so trying to make this short, but you guys know how much I love to talk and hear myself rattle on. I came home, went to Penn State, etc., etc. Life went on. In Pennsylvania, interesting thing about Pennsylvania, they offered at the time a Gulf War tag, for your vehicle. And this is what it looks like here in the corner of your screen, right there. All right. There were not that many made, because there are only, I think, less than 3,000 PA residents that served in the Gulf War. They no longer make that license plate anymore, by the way. It's gone. And now everything's generic. The specialty tags are gone. I have not seen one of those tags in years. It's very, very, very rare to run into another veteran who served at that particular time, because from being from PA, etc. It's a very, very small fraternity of brothers and sisters. It's very, very tiny, okay? Now, I freak out when I see another Jeep SRT or Trackhawk on the road, because it's like finding a unicorn in the wild. Imagine finding a license plate where there are only, like I said, a couple thousand ever made. And the possibility that you may have served with this person. You see where I'm going with this? So I pulled in to Burger King today to get my tasty. Go ahead. Tell me below how bad it is for me. Oh my God, I don't care. F all of you. I am going to be eating 3. That's right, 3 Whopper Juniors with cheese and some chicken fries. And then I'm going to wash it down with a bang. Oh my God, your heads are exploding. The guy who told me, who got mad at me for drinking Bang. I'm just making fun. Please don't be upset about that. I'm just making fun, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to wash it down with a bang. I really am. I have 2 today. One is for a friend of mine. One's for me. I'm only having 1 today. I'm being good. Back on to my story. So I'm in line, and I see this Chevy Cobalt SS in front of me. And it's boosted, because I could see he's got his pillars, and he's got all his gauges going, and I can hear it. I'm like, damn, freaking sweet-ass little car, right? And then I focus in on the license plate. Sure enough, Gulf War tag. What are the odds of running into one anyway? Right? I don't even know what the odds are. I have to figure out what the number of Pennsylvania residents and how many were made. What would be the actual percentage? You know, and it's just crazy math. I'm not going to do it. But here he is. Here's this individual sitting in front of me with Gulf War tag. So I'm like, I got to get out. And if you're in Philly, or I'm sure this happens anywhere, and you're in your vehicle and you see somebody getting out, approach, especially dressed like me. Now I guess I don't look that threatening, but I've got on all my military gear for work. He was a little standoffish. As I walked up to the window, he cracked the window and he gave me this look like, yeah? And I was like, excuse me, Gulf War tag. And then broke the ice right there. Nice gentleman. I talked to him, as you saw in the thumbnail, and on also the opening video shot of me talking to this gentleman. It's because he was a Gulf War vet. I have a special place in my heart for all responders, whether you're fire, police, military, medical field, but most particularly for vets. Get shit on a lot, although public perception has changed over the years since Vietnam. You still have people out there who are ignorant towards you, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know if it's jealousy about because they never served themselves, but you get some of the most ignorant comments from some of the tiny-minded people you'll ever meet. And that's fine, because on the opposite side of the spectrum, which is very uncomfortable, people always thank you for your service, which, for me, coming from my family where everybody served, we even lost an uncle in Vietnam to friendly fire, which was really bad considering when, I got wounded, my dad was freaking out. But you have a lot of people who thank you for your service, and I appreciate that, but it makes me feel uncomfortable, because I don't like to be thanked for something that I felt a duty to do to my country. I'm very patriotic. I love my country, and I'm not a, America only. It's like, you've got to serve to protect your homeland, etc. But I think you understand. I'm not finding the right words right now. So anyway, today, running into this guy was really cool. He was in the first cav. I was in the third ID. It's also nice because last night I found out that Xander13, he's a fellow YouTuber. He's in the Mustang community. He's local to my area was also a 13 Foxtrot. So that's also pretty nice to know, because that's, you know, I don't run into 13 Foxtrots all the time. If you're 13 Fox, comment below. Or if you're not, if you served, let me know where you served. This is kind of the conversation where it's going. I'd like to know who follows me. If you served, I don't care if you didn't. This is just for our fellow vets. I'd like to see where everyone served, did their basic, their AIT, and where they were stationed. Comment below. I told you mine. I was Army, active duty, and then reserves for many years. I started out as a 13 Fox, primary MOS. When I left the reserves, I was told that I had to change my MOS. So I picked 95 Bravo, which was military police. And I did that for the remainder of my career. Loved it. It was a great job. Both jobs were awesome in their own respect. If I had to pick one again, man, it would be a tough choice. It'd really be a tough choice. But I think I would lean towards 13 Foxtrot. Nothing compares to it in Germany. I mean, when you're out on the OP, away from everybody, nobody messes with you. Just hit the call for, fire missions all day long. Just blow shit up. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Plus, being what we call the bastards of the Army, we would be able to kind of get two of everything. Oh, and I also found out, Destroyer Gray Productions, that gentleman, he was a 13 Bravo. 13 Bravo is, this is the trio of fire support. You got your 13 Fox, the eyes of the artillery. You've got your 13 Echo, those are the brains of the artillery. And then you have your 13 Bravos, which is your Projo, your gun bunnies, the guys who were humping them rounds. Somebody's got to put the Projo in the tube and fire it. So that's the trio right there of fire support. At least it was when I was in. I don't know if they've added or take it away. But that's another YouTuber, Destroyer Gray Productions. Another salute for that gentleman. So that's cool. Anyway, I was stationed in Germany, Aschaffenburg, like I said, 4-7 Infantry, Gulf War, came home, went to Fort Knox in Kentucky, which is south of Louisville. I always say Louisville because that's how they say it down there. They add like 4 or 5 extra L's in the middle of Louisville, but they say Louisville. I don't even know how to get it. Stayed there for a little bit, came home, and was in a MP unit, MP company, literally right near Willow Grove Air Base. So that was my whole military career in a nutshell. So comment below. Let me know where you're from, where have you been, where you've been stationed, what your primary MOS is, or if you have a secondary like I do, both. And that's it. And for all of you guys and girls who serve, thank you for your service. I know some of you are gonna, like me, are gonna find that odd. And those of you who haven't, don't care. It's not a knock against anyone who hasn't. You're just a big part of this cycle of life as anybody else. Okay, don't feel left out. That's all I have for you guys and girls today. Please hit that like button and right next to it, the little bell for notifications. That really helps me out. Down here in the corner, please click the subscribe button. I'm asking you, please. I appreciate that too. You don't have to if you don't want. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys and girls. I'm out.